What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to e-file a Form 1. It's a very simple process. If this is your first time, I recommend going slow. Pause the video if you need to. Go step by step, pausing as you complete each step. Forewarning, it's a government website. It is slow. It does buffer a lot. So make sure your pages are fully loaded before you go on to each next step. And stick around to the end and I'll show you what to fill out on the fingerprint cards, which fingerprint cards to use, and what you need to mail into the ATF. If you follow these steps exactly as I show you here, I guarantee you won't have no trouble getting your Form 1 approved. More than likely it'll be between 14 to 30 days, or it could be under that, it could be a little over that, but the averages for approval is in between 14 and 30 days. So follow along and I'll show you guys how to get this done. This will be an individual Form 1. Alright, this will be the page that you come to first. The website is eforms.atf.gov/login. If you'll Google that, there'll be a link on Google that you can hit and just make sure you come to this page. You'll see login. First thing you want to do is set up an account. For that, you need to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and right here where it says register, click on that. Then you'll want to enter the email you want to use. I recommend using Gmail, but you can use other services, but I have heard of people having trouble with other email services, so go over to Google, set you up a Gmail account. I highly recommend doing it that way. I've created just a fake email account on Google that I'm going to use because I don't want my information on here. So I'm just going to type that in. And we're just repeating it there. And you want to make sure you fill out all these blanks. Cadence, you do not have to fill this out. This is for if you're a junior or senior, so on. For title, leave this spot blank. Country, United States. Then enter your phone number. I'm going to leave this blank. I don't want my number on here. Then enter your address, zip code, city and state. Select from the drop down menu, and then it'll ask you a security question. Just pick one of them that you know you can remember and fill out a answer that'll answer the security question. At the very bottom, you'll create a password and confirm that password. And this is the new updated eForm system, which uses PIN numbers. So here at the very bottom, you'll create a PIN and just confirm that PIN. Once you've completed that, you can hit register. Okay, once you've created your account, you'll come back to the login page. So just hit login. It'll bring up some information here. Read all that. And then if you want to continue on to file a Form 1, you'll have to hit accept and log in. Then enter the username and password you just created. You want to pay attention on your registration page at the very top. It will create a username for you. Be sure to write that username down, or Google will ask you to save the username and password. You can go that route too. Just be sure you write down the username that it gives you. A lot of these pages take a long time to load. Be sure to let it load completely before trying to do anything. Once this page loads, you'll have to read this and then check each box stating that you agree to whatever it says there. At the bottom, hit accept. And now you're on the forms page. You can see it has many different forms here. The one we're concerned with is ATF Form 1. Click on that to begin a new application. And we're going to hit individual. Now if you were filing with a trust, you would hit trust and hit next. Once this page comes up, hit next, and you'll be tax paid $200. It's already got individual checked. You don't have to enter anything else on this page. Just hit next. At the very end, once you certify, it'll pop up an electronic payment. You can pay electronically at the end of the application. Make sure no FFL is checked. It should make sure all the information that it preloads is correct. And then you'll come down to title of submitter of the application. If you're building a Form 1 silencer, enter maker. M-A-K-E-R. If you're filing for a SBR, then you can put owner in that box. Confirm all your stuff is correct, and then you get down to the questions. Every question should be no. Be sure to read each one, but every question must be no, or you will not be approved for your Form 1. Country of citizenship has to be United States. Last question should be not applicable. Once you've entered all those and you've confirmed that all the information in the boxes above are correct, hit next. And this is where you enter your responsible persons. You are the responsible person. I always come over here to view and check these boxes, and that'll add more categories here. All this stuff has to be filled out anyway, but once you've confirmed it or entered it in over here, it's easier to see it all on this page and confirm that it's correct before moving on. I don't need cadence. I like to use middle name detail. I want to make sure it's got my email. Alright, now that has all our categories. Come over here to where it says actions at the very right of the page. Edit line items. Click this icon. That will pull up this responsible persons form, and this is where you'll enter your information. We don't have a cadence, and it's already pre-entered maker into the title. Your first name, middle name, last name. Confirm your email is correct, because this is where they will email your approved Form 1 and your cover sheet that will be mailed to the ATF along with your fingerprints. So confirm that is the correct email address. For photo, you must attach a passport style photo. I suggest taking a photo on your phone. It must be from the shoulder up, and it must have a white background. Take it with your phone or something, upload it to your computer, and then you'll browse your computer files and upload that right here. I'm uploading my photo here. Social Security number, it says not required. Failure to provide may delay processing. They're going to get your Social Security number either way. I suggest enter it in so there's no delays on getting approval. Ensure zip code, state, city, street is correct. Then enter your date of birth, country. This is your birth country. If you were not born in the United States, select the country you were born in. Remember, you must be a United States citizen to be approved for a Form 1, but you can be born in another country just as long as you're a citizen now. Birth state, select the state you were born in. State of residence is the state you currently reside in. Sex and your race. UPIN, you don't need to enter anything there. Once you've ensured that all the information is correct, hit save and close. Make sure the page is fully loaded and come down and hit next. This will take us to the Clio Information. Clio is your Chief Law Enforcement Officer. Agency or department name, I suggest you just using the sheriff of your county, or you can use your police chief of your town. Put the name of the sheriff's department. In my case, it's Clinton County Sheriff's Department. Name of agency official, that would be the name of your sheriff or chief of police. Title of agency official, once you've entered the name, their title is either the sheriff or chief of police. Then enter the address of your sheriff's department or your police department, whichever one you used. Enter the zip code. Make sure the state's correct. City, it may have several options. Just make sure the city's correct and the county's correct. Once you've ensured that all the information is correct, hit next. Alright, this is where if you're doing an SBR, you would add firearm, or even if you're doing a Form 1 silencer, you want to hit right here where it says add firearm. Manufacturer's name, if you're doing a short-barreled rifle, you would type in the name of that manufacturer here and it will pull up a list. Make sure you select the manufacturer's name, click on it, and then hit verify manufacturer. For a Form 1 silencer, just type in Form 1 and then select Form 1 registration and verify manufacturer. Then click OK on the pop-up. Manufacturer's country will be United States. Next. Alright, once this page pops up on product type, you want to select silencer if we're making a Form 1 silencer. If you're doing a short-barreled rifle, you would select short-barreled rifle. Once you've entered that field, the next field is model. You must select from the drop-down menu. If you type or enter your own one in here, that will put you into pending research and will drastically increase the time you will have to wait on your Form 1 to be approved. If you select a model off this list, which this is a very massive list, it has the model of every silencer that's ever been registered. So there's definitely something you can find on here, or you can go down and select not applicable, and then you can put whatever model name you want. But if you see a catchy name you want to use, as long as it's on this menu, select it. Do not enter your own model number, or you will go into pending research and it will take months and months and months to be approved. If you can't find a name on here that you like, I suggest selecting not applicable. And you can't just enter it in. You want to select not applicable from the drop down menu. Do not just enter it in, because that will put you in pending research. Here you can select NA or N/A. As long as it's on this menu, you'll be good. For caliper, make sure you select whatever's the largest caliber that you plan to shoot through your silencer. They have 5.56. You can see there's any caliber you want pretty much. I'm going to select 30 caliber. Unit of measure, select caliper. If you're doing 9mm, up here on the caliber menu, select 9. And then on unit of measure, you would select millimeter. I selected 30 caliber, so we're going to select caliber. Overall length, whatever length you enter in here, that's the maximum length that that you can make your silencer. A lot of people just put 12, 14 inches or whatever for whatever silencer they're going to build. You can be under, you just cannot go over whatever length you enter here. If you want to make it exact, but I suggest always making it a little larger, a little longer than what you plan. Serial number, since we're building our own silencer, you get to make up the serial number. I suggest making sure you have both letters and numbers. It'll tell you down here in this box below, silencer. If no model is desired, select not applicable in the model drop-down list. Selecting a pre-populated model from the drop-down list will prevent delays in processing time. Selecting the create a new item box will increase processing time. This is the pending research I was just telling you about. Enter single caliber, 9, 45, 357, 5.56, and so on. Serial numbers. Serial numbers must contain one Roman number and no special characters, exception is a hyphen or a space. I suggest keeping it simple. I use 3 letters, typically my initials. That's not my initials there. And I try to select 4 numbers. Sometimes I just use the days of the date. You can use whatever number you want. I just entered 4 random numbers. This box, state why you intend to make the firearm. Keep it simple. Enter 4 all legal purposes. That's all you need to put. 4 all legal purposes. Then hit next. I've been skipping through a lot of the loading for you guys. There's no need you all to have to sit and wait for it. But just so you kind of know what to expect from this government website, I've been sitting and looking at this for like the last 6-7 minutes. So just be prepared to be patient. Make sure you wait and let the page fully load before you go on to anything else. And I have had many times where it will kick you out and you gotta log back in. Usually it'll have a draft saved for you, and you can click on your draft and take off from wherever you let off at. But be sure to always go back and make sure your information is correct. But just something you can expect from government website. Alright, once the page is completely loaded, come over here to line item summary and just verify that all the information there is correct. It's got Form 1 registration, our models not applicable, product type is silencer, caliber is 30. If it was an SBR, it would have barrel length in inches here, but we're doing a Form 1 silencer. Make sure the overall length is correct. and it has the serial number you entered. And be sure to keep track of this information, because you'll want this serial number, and if you selected a model name, that will have to be engraved into your silencer body, along with your name or the name of your trust and your city and state. You don't have to upload a picture of your silencer plans or none of that. I've done dozens and I've never done any of that. If you was doing a SBR, you would take a picture of the stamping or engraving that shows the serial number or model number, and you could upload it here. I've never done that on an SBR, but I've registered all my SBRs on the old eForm system, and this is the new eForm system. Whatever you upload here, just make sure it shows it down in it here in the box. And just click finish once you've verified everything's correct. Okay, this is the next page to load. Here again, verify your information's correct. Form 1 registration, United States, product type firearm, it's going to say that whether you selected silencer or not. Caliber's 30, we put in A for our model, overall length 12 inches, and our serial number we chose. Once you've assured all that's correct, just hit next. This is the electronic documents section. Here you could upload your trust documents. I'm just going to upload a picture again. Description is photo. Like I said, I don't know if this is absolutely necessary. You could probably just skip past this. I just always upload a photo again, just to ensure they have it. Just hit next. And this is where we certify our Form 1. This is the very last step. You want to check that you certify that everything is correct and hit pay. And this is where you will pay. You will enter your credit card or debit card information into here. Your credit card number, debit card number, expiration date, security code. Then you'll hit continue. Ensure that everything's correct and hit approve. Then they will charge you $200. And it will tell you to close out of that. I'm not actually filing a form, so I'm not going to do that step. But once you close out of that, after paying, then the sign and submit button will be highlighted. You can click on that, and you will have to enter the PIN that you created when you registered. When you enter that PIN and hit OK, that's your electronic signature on the document. Once you do that, you've completed the e-file process, and you'll get an email with your cover letter and a copy of your form. Before paying or signing and submitting, I suggest coming up and clicking View PDF, and that will show you a copy of what your Form 1 will look like, and you can make sure that everything's right on it. Okay, once you've signed and submitted, you should come back to this page, and there should be a new section over here in My Forms that's labeled Submitted in Process, and you can click on that and it'll show your submitted form. Besides that, you can exit out and you're done with the e-file process. Then you'll want to go to your email, and you should have an email on the account that you entered into the registration. Use that email, and you'll have an email showing your cover letter and a copy of your Form 1. You need to print off the cover letter and the copy of your Form 1. The copies of your Form 1, if you'll look at the very bottom of the page, I can't show you guys a copy because it has my personal information on it. But at the very bottom of the page, it'll say Clio copy. All the pages that say Clio copy, you have to take and give those to your sheriff or your chief of police, whoever you used on the form. You can mail it to them, or you can take it and hand deliver it to them, whatever you prefer. All the other copies are just a copy for you to keep. I usually throw them in the trash because I save the digital copy. You might want to create a saved folder on your Gmail or whatever email service you're using, and always keep that there. The cover letter and the copy of your Form 1. That way you can always go back and pull it up if you need to. The cover letter you get will be mailed to the ATF along with your fingerprint cards. The fingerprint cards you get should look like this. They should have WVATF 0800 in the ORI column, along with ATF-NATL TRAC CTR, Martinsburg, West Virginia. And I'll show you where you can get these cards for free, or you can buy them off Amazon. They're for sale on many places on the internet, but I suggest getting these for free from the ATF. It might take a week or two to get them. If you're in a hurry for them, order them off Amazon or something. Be sure that you have these fingerprint cards before you ever apply for your Form 1. But your fingerprint cards and cover letter must be mailed to the ATF within 10 days of completing your application. I think they've temporarily moved that up to 45 days, but you'll want to mail it to them immediately. So don't waste any time. Once you've completed your Form 1, the next day or so, be sure to take and mail your fingerprint cards and cover letter. The address you mail it to will be on the top of your cover letter. You'll be mailing it to the ATF in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Okay, now I'll show you where you can go to get these fingerprint cards for free, and I'll show you what you need to fill out on the fingerprint cards. Okay, if you'll go to atf.gov and then go to resources, download forms, go to order paper forms, enter your name, your email address and phone number, and your mailing address. Then come down and select fingerprint cards, enter the quantity you want, hit the drop down menu, and you want the one at the very bottom, FBI FD-258LE-NFA imports, or ORI WVATF 0800. That's the one you want. These are completely free. You can get however many you want. Go ahead and get 12 of them or so. Hit preview, and it'll have a spot there to submit your order. I usually get them in within a week. I've heard it taking some people 2 weeks to receive them, so make sure you do it plenty ahead of time. Or you can order them off Amazon if you need them quicker. Alright guys, when you get your fingerprint cards, these are the spots you want to have filled out. You want to sign your name where it says signature of person fingerprinted. Sign your name. Write your address, city and state and zip code, the date you're filling the card out, and then signature of official taking fingerprints. You can take your own fingerprints. If you go that route, just sign your own name right here. Everyone I've ever done, I've done my own fingerprints. You can go to your law enforcement office and have that done there, but I suggest just doing it yourself. buy an ink pad off of Amazon. They're not that expensive. You don't need to write anything for employer and address. That would be for if you had it done at a law enforcement office. Reason fingerprinted. Write NFA application. You'll have to excuse my poor handwriting. The next section, put your last name first, your first name, then your full middle name. Under aliases, you can leave that blank if you don't have an alias. If you have a shorter version of your name or you go by your middle name, you can write that in, whatever. Not a big deal. Citizenship, United States of America, USA. Put your social security number in. You do not want to leave it blank on here. If you order your cards from the ATF, they should have this ORI already filled out and stamped in. If not, you can see what needs to be in that field right there. Just pause the video and write that in if you got a blank card. You'll need to fill out sex, male or female, M for male, F for female, race, W for white, B for black, so on and so on. You can go to nationalguntrust.com and it'll have all the examples of what you can put for different races, for the codes for different eyes color and different hair color. But anyway, you list your height. You don't put any dash or anything in between it. I'm 6'3", so I put 6'03". If you're 5'11", you'd put 5'11", so on. Weight, put your weight. Eyes, that's the code again I was talking about. I have brown eyes, so the code for brown is BRO. Like I said, if you need the codes for it, check out nationalguntrust.com. Put your hair color. Again, I have brown hair, so BRO. The place of birth, spell out the state you were born in. Then date of birth, month, day, and year. That's all you have to write down. Next, you'll put your fingerprints in. Right thumb, index, middle finger, right ring, right little finger. Left thumb, left index, left middle, left ring, left little. Then you need to do all four at once for the left hand. You got to do it kind of like that to fit them on there. Just your right thumb and just your left thumb. And then all four at once on your right hand. You kind of got to lay your hand like that and get all four at once. For your individual fingerprints, you just kind of want to lay it on the side and roll like that to get each finger. And you'll just mail two copies of these. Be sure you fill out two of these. You have to have two copies. Send two copies of these with your cover letter to the address that's on top of the cover letter to the ATF. And once they receive your fingerprint cards, it's not very long, and you'll have an email with an approved Form 1. Your Form 1 will be, the stamp will be sent to you in an email. So when you get the email, you'll open it up, you'll print that off, and that's your Form 1. That's what you have to have with you. That's what you have to have with the silencer or with the short-barreled rifle or whatever you have. I suggest printing it off in color, but I don't guess that's a requirement, but do it however you want. And that's all they are to it, guys. That's all they are to doing a Form 1. Like I said, it usually takes between 15 and 30 days. The last two that I've submitted was on the new updated e-forms, and I got both of them back within 7 days. I got them both approved within 7 days. That was 7 days from the day I completed my e-file. 7 days later, I got an approval. So that's how quick Form 1s can be. Just make sure that you take your time, make sure all the information is filled out like I've showed you, and I guarantee you won't have any trouble whatsoever. If anybody has any questions, be sure to drop them down in the comments. I try to reply to every question. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.